Hi, my name is Patrick Ballesteros. I'm a concept artist illustrator for the entertainment industry. I've been working for the past 10 years and instructing for the past 7. Some of my projects and clients include Guitar Hero, Rock Band. I forget which one it was, but I did work on that. Jak and Daxter, I did a lot of concept for that Lost Frontier PSP game. And I've also done a lot of storyboarding for clients such as Black Eyed Peas, Fox's King of the Hill, and even a little bit of comic book cover work on the side. And the one thing that I'm really proud of right now is, of course, doing my own stuff, but really getting into kids' books. It's been a blast doing that. I became, in a sense, infatuated with art when my brother started drawing, and I was 5 at the time and he was 10. So he would draw all these comic book covers and he would copy them meticulously and they looked exact. And I'm like, oh my God, so cool. And I remember there was this one cover that he drew and I wanted to draw, and it was Michael Golden, the Nam. And Michael Golden was just amazing. So I saw him doing that, oh, I'm gonna copy it too. And when I copied it, mine just looked like utter crap. It just, that's not what he drew. So he continued to do that, and I would try to emulate him and copy the covers that he copied, and I got to a point where I just couldn't do it. So I was like, man, I just want to make my own stuff up. So I started making my own stuff up, and that started looking better. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to copy covers anymore. I'm just going to do my own thing. So pretty much from that age until I can remember, I started doing my own stuff through, all the way to high school and things like that. Unfortunately, my brother stopped doing it and I stuck with it. So I think he would have been a better artist if he had stuck with it, but I think he kind of just, maybe it's not my thing, and I just continued with it. So, I'd have to thank him as well as Michael Golden for giving me that little inspiration to say, hey, this is something that's fun, let's do this. And that's kind of how I ended up doing art and really fall in love with it. It's just through those trials and tribulations. Kind of typical to most Asian families, my parents didn't really know what I was getting into. Can you make money? It's like, I think so, but let me try it out. So they still supported me even though they had no idea what I wanted to do, but I think I got the most support later on in career when I was actually focused on my training. A big time supporter was my girlfriend, now wife. She was, she's not an artist, but she had that artistic eye to help me say, hey, that looks horrible. I don't know how to fix it. Well, neither do I, but it looks bad. I'm like, okay. But I think one of the more instrumental instructors that I had, his name was Marshall Vandruff, and he's very, very well known in the art industry as a mentor, instructor, and artist. And he was kind enough to take me to a museum one day early in my art career, and while there we talked, but it was just really more of just kind of relaxing and having fun with your art. And I think that's one thing that I started to realize is you need to really let loose a bit more and not be so controlled. And once I was able to do that, it just kind of opened up this whole world of art that I think I was limiting myself to not being able to jump in, like feet, head, everything. What I love about teaching is just still being in that student atmosphere, because I think as an artist you're always a student, and actually teaching the next generation of artists, teaching the next generation of students keeps you on your toes, keeps you fresh, but it also reminds you of where you came from. Because I think as an artist, you don't ever want to get too big for your britches, meaning always know your roots, because I think when you keep that in perspective, it not only makes your artwork and yourself and your teaching and your philosophies more true, but it's something that everyone can connect with, because everyone was a student at one point. And I think by displaying that, being a little bit more humble, that humility, and just showing that I was there too, I can sympathize, I could feel with you, I think that engagement just kind of brings everyone together as a whole. I think feedback is super important for a number of reasons. Just think of it this way, like you're going on a tour and you're going out in a different country where you don't know the language. So you could say, I'm going to pick up a book and say, oh, I'm going to go here, here, and here, and we're going to hit up these spots. You can do that, and you can just get maybe face value of what's there. Oh, they tell me to see this, this, and this. But when you actually go with someone who's a local, who's been in the trenches, who knows like the smells and the cities and knows what their city's all about, you get a lot more of that experience, and that's what I think feedback is. The instructor's been there where you've been. They've gone through the pains, the frustrations, the walls. So they know how to kind of counteract that, or know to tell you, hey, what you're doing is fine. You're progressing, you're doing what exactly you should be doing, so don't stress. You'll be okay. It's just one of those things you have to get through. And I think without that kind of mentorship within that feedback, you're not going to excel as fast as you'd like. You probably get stuck a little bit more and even more frustrated because, again, you don't have that person or that human quality saying, dude, you're cool, we're good. My view on art is you're always a lifelong student, meaning you always want to be learning. You always want to be improving your craft. In a sense, never satisfied. But at the same time, while you're trying to achieve that, you always want to enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. Because I think a lot of people get so obsessed with the end product that they miss out on things that are happening around them as they're creating their art. So I think that while you're striving to, and you're doing that, your student thing, or you're just learning more, take time every once in a while to look what's going on around you, with your family, if you have kids at the time, or you don't, or you do later on, your friends, or even just things that are going on around you, going, traveling. Take all that, make it part of the process, part of the journey, but just make sure to acknowledge it and know that it's going on, because it'll make your whole experience and your whole art career actually more than just about art, but actually life and living. I think if I could tell my younger self something, it would just be to stay the course. There's going to be a lot of things, a lot of distractions, but keep doing what you're doing. There's going to be times when it's going to be hard and you're going to get frustrated, but art has its way of kind of carrying you through things and taking you to that next step if you let it. It can take you down a dark path, meaning you become so obsessed with it you forget about everything else. But to look at always the bright side of things, always look at the glass half full. If you keep that in mind and you keep your head on straight, you'll be fine. And don't worry, the art will figure itself out. As long as you surround yourself with good people and just try to create good vibes for yourself, you'll be fine.